how did the relationship with the editor work? Because, as a director, also the star, was it a situation where you would kind of give her notes as to what you were looking for? Or were you kind of like or was she presenting you with full cuts of scenes and saying, this is how I think it should go? What do you think?
It depended on the acts. Definitely the most sensitive act is the act with my mom. And so with that one, I was just like, okay, Sabrina, watch all of it. I watch all of it. You watch all of it. Then let's decide which parts of it we want to include, right? One of the first things I said to Sabrina and to Anne Lupo, who's also one of my co-producers and co-director, and Clarissa de los Reyes, who's this fantastic filmmaker, Filipina filmmaker, I said to them, no, all bets are off. Like, this is not about protecting me, or there's actually a scene in this film that I didn't even show my immigration lawyers. And after they saw it, they were like, why did you include that in the film? The scene where I looked straight to the camera and I said I lied in a government form to get a job.
Oh, yeah, I could see that be a problem.
My lawyers, after they saw a cut of it at a screening, said, what are you doing? I'm like, well, if I don't say that, then what are we doing? We have to be honest, right? Like, I wish, in retrospect, probably my biggest artistic influence is James Baldwin, the writer James Baldwin. One of his quotes is, nothing can be changed until it is faced. I wish, in retrospect, I wish I would love to have included that sentence in the...
Like an epigram?
Yeah, because I think it works in the personal level and also in the issue level, right? Like, we as a country have not really faced what this issue is about, right?
Right.
And my being unable to face my own mother and my own story and owning it and claiming it, right? This idea, I don't know if you remember in the title of the film, it says illegal immigrant, then we crossed it out and said undocumented American. Claiming something that people don't even think is mine or is ours, right?
Do you mean, in terms of claiming something that you don't think is yours, what do you mean the label?
The label American. Like, we're illegal. We're aliens from Mars, yo. Like, and I mean, and let's actually talk about that privilege, right? So as we're sitting here, about 1,000 people get deported every day. Someone's probably getting detained because they're driving somewhere without a license and get pulled over by the cops. And before you know it, they're in deportation proceedings. I'm here talking to you about a film I made. So I'm in this incredibly privileged position to be doing this kind of stuff. And I feel like insisting on marrying myself to the issue at large and to the rest of the 11 million is really, really important.
And actually, that is one element, though, that I'm interested in, because it's, this film is so personal and so much about you, but it's also so tied to the issue. And I was wondering, how do you go about seeking that balance between, you, the activist, and you, the human being, in the film?
See, I mean, even I question this idea of, people say that I guess I'm an activist, I'm an advocate. I don't know. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm finally allowed myself to be my fullest self. Like, I was just in an interview recently and the person was like, the former journalist, Jose Antonio Vargas. And I was like, oh, former. When did that happen? Like, did I turn in my card? Like, when? Because apparently now I've taken a stance. A stance for what exactly? Oh, to be considered a full human being who calls his country his home. It's not as if I'm presenting incorrect facts. I'm just trying to insist on the fullness of the issue. So when people say activist or advocate, I'm like, okay, well, ever since I was a young kid and I would hear illegal and faggot, as the way people call me, I had to make a decision that what people call me says a lot more about them than it could possibly ever say about me. So I'm like, I'm going to let people you think and you label me what you want to label me. But the work, I think, speaks for itself.